Okay, so let's see what Spirit wants to say. Okay. So they're showing me Knight of Cups. They call it the 12 of Cups. All right, so I do feel like a lot of the lovers are wanting to step into some sort of offer. Seven of Swords, but there's been like this whole round and round about what needs to be said, what doesn't need to be said, right? And what hasn't been said, and perhaps what needed to be said. They're feeling very alone. Okay. So they're talking to me about, they just said underneath the sky. Okay. So I really feel like there's this call to like get out, right? Get out, go outdoors, get underneath the sky, like get out into nature. There's this very sort of like old soul energy coming through. And they keep saying Bartleby. I don't know what Bartleby is, but they keep saying Bartleby. There's a transformation coming. And they are showing the red sky. Okay. It's almost like you need to get out into nature and enjoy it before you're not able to get out into nature. That'll make sense when it makes sense, right? But they're showing me the red sky. And of course, they're playing that song in my head. Oh, 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 oh. Maybe the lyrics mean something to someone. And they're showing me like a trailer, okay? And it could be a trailer that you live in. It could be like a vacation trailer. I don't know. They're showing me a trailer. And for some of you, it's symbolic. It's the part of yourself that seeks freedom and yet goes back to the comfort zone, or that is fearful of going backwards in life. But you know, your soul is kind of nomadic. Your soul doesn't quite necessarily need what we think we need and want in this life. And again, they're talking about 4 directions, right? Like, there's different things that you want to do. There's different places that you want to go. There's different energies that are kind of calling to you. And the aspect of it is that you can't do it all at once. Okay. So they're saying, right, like flow first a little bit slowly into whatever you're releasing, and kind of let that lead into a little illumination of what you want to let go of and what you want to start calling in with the full moon. All right? Because this is about getting clarity about your soul path and about what really is like meant for, desired for you. And once you go through that, you'll be very much prepared for whatever the new beginning is for you. Somebody needs to hear Charleston, okay? Whether it's the dance, whether it's the location, you need a name, you needed to hear that. It's your confirmation. Okay. But you're going to spend a little bit of time in that releasing. Okay. So it's important that you do it in a comfortable manner, that you don't resist it. That's very much attuned to the video for Patreon today, which was very much titled at Resistance. It'll be out on the Oracle of the Celestial channel on YouTube in a week, but Patreon gets it first. Okay. But yeah, it's like you got to go with the flow. Spirit's really talking to us about flowing right now. And that, are you resistant just because you're tired of the rigidity? Or are you resistant because you don't like the feeling of the release? Right? Something to think about. Frequency of love is always around us, even when there's not love in our life. And they're singing in my head, right? Do 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 love. And it reminds me of my favorite version when I was working retail in a children's store, and I used to play the Beatles children's CD all the time. Loved that. There's a little bit of the wonder of being a child that we need to bring back, where the last day of school was amazing because you knew you had like a lifetime of summer ahead of you. And now, like, you're like, summer's going to be over in a blink of an eye, right? You gotta release that resistance to the flow. Because when you were a child, you could flow, and you're not really doing that anymore, right? So that's very important. They are telling me that they're showing me a trident. I really see that as being very Neptunian, but they are really showing me a trident, and that's very important. That we understand that emotionally, they're saying Poseidon's in charge emotionally, okay? You cannot resist, especially right now, Neptune and Pisces. You can't resist. That's a resistance right there. You cannot resist the aspects that these emotions are bringing to you, because it's what you need to see. It's what you need to work on. It's what you need to understand. All right. So, potent stuff. I'm going to finish my little lozenge. I always call them lozengers. I should still call them lozengers for the rest of my life, because that used to piss the holy mother effing like madness out of my ex. There's no R in it. Well, that's what we called it when I was growing up. We called it a lozenger. I don't know what to tell you. But it's my little essential oil lozenge. Okay. On my book, Exploring Aromatherapy, is one of the, it's close to like the top 500. And I've self-published books and essential oils out there. If you want to know everything about essential oils, safety, efficacy, the woo, it's all in there. So it's on Amazon and Kindle. All right. Much love, guys. Bye. Night night.